Tonight, News Channel 5 investigates how the people who run most of Tennessee's colleges and universities spend your money.
While the state faces a major budget crisis, they're still getting free rides on state planes. It's free for them. Of course, you paid for it. Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams, shows while others are hurting, they're flying high.
For more than a year, students at Tennessee's colleges and universities have feared big cuts in programs along with big tuition hikes.
As you will see, this is a very difficult budget.
And recently, the governor warned that state government's budget hole is getting even deeper. But such budget woes have not grounded some members of Tennessee's Board of Regents. That's the board that oversees universities like TSU, MTSU, and Austin Peay. Bobby Thomas is the board's vice chair.
It has been historically the case that Board of Regents members have traveled by air. That's an indisputable fact.
And when they fly, it costs you money. The board is composed of 18 people from across the state, and for most of its meetings, the board dispatches 2 state aircraft to transport 6 of those members to and from Nashville. One plane flies to Chattanooga, Knoxville, the Tri-Cities, and back. The second flies to Memphis, stopping off in Jackson on the way to Nashville. And last year, you paid almost $45,000 to fly those 6 members to just 8 meetings.
I don't think that amount of money spent on air travel is exorbitant.
$45,000 would have been somebody's job, though.
May have been 2 people's job, but we have to we have an obligation, we being the 18 commissioners, have an obligation to oversee the 6th largest higher education system in the country.
But those planes flew even when members from the farthest corners of the state were not flying. In September, a state plane flew to Jackson to pick up just 1 board member and fly him to a meeting in Tullahoma. The plane later flew back to Tullahoma to take him home.
I'm not sure that a state plane should fly just 1 person.
And that's not all. We found another day when a plane flew to Jackson to pick up that board member, flew across the state to Chattanooga to pick up another, flew back to Nashville for a meeting, then a few hours later retraced the same route to take them both home.
Is that an efficient use of a state aircraft?
It is not. I did not particularly pick that one out, but no, that is not an efficient use.
And then that plane flew across the state to Chattanooga.
And then flew back here?
And then flew back here.
State Representative Debra Maggart, a member of the House Finance Committee, questioned whether those high-flying board members know what's really happening down on the ground.
It's an insult, I think, to the taxpayers and to the families in our state that are making cuts to their own budget, their own family budget, and it's an insult to the state employees.
In fact, our investigation discovered that among all the boards and commissions in state government, the Board of Regents is the only one that flies its members in for meetings. Even state lawmakers drive themselves.
Help me figure out how we can make this money go further.
For example, last month when the governor summoned members of the state's 4 education boards to a meeting at the Capitol, others found their own way to Nashville. But our hidden cameras were there when the Board of Regents touched down, first on one plane, then on another, just in time to get to the meeting with the governor. Getting off the planes, they were met at the state hangar by state employees who chauffeured them downtown. So why the special treatment?
And the time of the board members is valuable. They're very busy people.
Isn't the time of the board members of every other commission and state government valuable as well?
I certainly did not mean to infer that their time wasn't valuable also.
We're all busy, and if you want to be on the Board of Regents and serve our state, I think you should be able to make a sacrifice.
With the state flying into even more difficult budget times, the board's vice chair says it may be time to chart a new course.
These shorter trips, yes, we need to not do that anymore, and as I said, the policy is constantly under review, and thanks to you, it's going to be under more review.
While Vice Chair Thomas says the policy is constantly under review, he was not quite willing to commit to bring forth a proposal to actually change the policy. So we'll have to watch and see what happens.
Now, as the mother of 2 UT students, I have to ask, what about their board? Did they bring their members in and out as well?
Well, a university spokesperson tells me that they do not. And the director for another board, the Tennessee Higher Education Commission, said his members decided during the last budget crunch that they would not even ask to be reimbursed for their mileage. He said they just do it as a public service.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Bill.